Hello and welcome to the Witch's Realm. I'm Andrea Franco, intuitive business mentor.
And I'm Amanda Root, mindset and manifestation mentor. We created this podcast as a safe space for women to connect and come out of the witch's closet and own their magic.
We discuss everything from business, pleasure, spell work, sex, wealth, and how to live a magically abundant as fuck life.
Yeah, get ready to tune in and get turned on.
Ooh, boy, I love you so. Never, never, never want to let you go. Okay. Welcome back to the Witch's Realm.
The levels are really good.
Yeah, I turned it up because I want to be obnoxious today and loud.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
How am I doing? I think I need to turn it
A
up
little
a little
louder.
bit.
I want to hear you.
What am
The tower wants you to be extra.
Tower, mic check 1, 2. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Ready to talk tower.
Okay.
Welcome
back to the Witch's Realm.
Welcome back, witches.
I know, right? Okay, so we've had a little break, and so now you're gonna get your episodes back weekly. Amanda decided to go get sick, and I decided to go heal.
There was healing that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Welcome back, witches. We have missed you.
I also feel like I went deeper into the tower, and today's episode is about the tower. So now I could really talk about the tower because I just towered the shit out of my life. And
The tower brings the healing.
Yeah.
And that's really the whole idea. So I feel like even though we had scheduled to talk about the tower three times, it was the tower for us. Yes. The tower needed to actually happen so that we could come out on the other side.
Well,
so we've been through
home.
a retreat. We've been through. I just had COVID. My whole family, me, my
It's
husband.
really not funny. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
My kids.
You're just saying it so nonchalantly, but
I mean,
I know.
we were pretty lucky. I have to say, could have been a lot worse
for sure.
But I'm glad to be back talking about the tower.
All right, so maybe we should start off with what is the tower? Actually, talk about the tower in tarot and what it represents, and then we can go into the examples of how our life was a tower recently.
For sure. So the tower is one of the major arcana cards in the tarot, and it represents the idea of destruction, divine destruction.
I like that.
Divine destruction.
Divine destruction.
Not just destruction. And that's the key, right? Because if you Google, I feel like we should have had a tower card, to
You want me to
show.
go get one? I mean, I'm sure I could just pull it now.
Conjure one up, bitch.
I mean, I'm sure if I
Which, I think, get the deck. So tarot is all about symbolism, and the idea of the tower
on the top.
is, okay, so it's the 26th card, and it's approaching the end of the journey. And so what's happening here is a death in order for a rebirth.
Sorry,
and the divine part is this cute little lightning bolt coming, striking the tower, and causing this massive fire, which people are jumping out the building. They're fuck this shit. I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
See you
But
never.
the tower is such an interesting feeling because when you're in it,
That's crazy.
it's you're in the tower. That is weird. You're in the tower and it's on fire. What do you do?
I know.
When and that's kind of where you
Don't
find
jump.
out who you are.
I
What do
know.
you do?
Oh my God.
Do you run around and try to put the tower out? The fire out.
Yeah.
I love a tower.
And I think that I could tell you I love a tower now from where I'm sitting at this current moment. But if you asked me if I love a tower 5 weeks ago, I would have told you maybe to F off. Maybe. I'm just kidding. I'm actually really not kidding. I think that when we're in a tower, that we think a tower's bad because it feels like we're losing everything close to us and comfortable to us. And I think for me personally, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm someone who gets comfortable. like with people, with homes, with situations, with employees.
You love routine.
I do. I'm a Virgo. I'm a fucking Virgo. What do you want from me? A projector and a Virgo. And so like my life is, I'm a 1-3 line in human design. So you know your 3 line, you know, it's like death and rebirth. So my life is actually constant life, like death and rebirth. It's just been who I am over and over again. Like I close things and rebuild them all of the time, but it doesn't mean that it's not really fucking hard for me. I have to be honest, like I really struggle with like ending partnerships, with ending friendships, with letting go of people who work for me, with all these things, because I like love people. And like I think that my big heart is one of the reasons I'm so successful, but it also can get me in trouble because like I get really comfortable with things. So this tower in particular that I just went through, I lost a man that was in my life. I lost someone that was on my team. I lost literally probably a little bit of everything in all situations of my life, clients, maybe friends, not really, but a little bit of everything. So it was the hardest tower I ever experienced.
And the thing about the tower that I think you're just touching on right now is because some people might be listening to this and be like, what is the tower?
Okay.
It is feeling, just like you said, like
out of control.
A lot of things are falling away from you. Like you said, I lost this, I lost that. It's a feeling of loss. I think loss is a big theme and element of the tower. And if you think about the world and the state of the world and everything that's been
we're like in a
going on,
tower.
We are in a world tower. We're in a period
I almost think that
death.
like I don't really want to talk about it, but like whatever. The pandemic is kind of a tower. I know this is crazy.
You don't want to talk about COVID? I mean, literally
whatever.
Just had COVID. What do you think we're not going to talk about COVID on the show?
I'm just saying that I like don't fucking like the topic of COVID. However, I've had like visions of what COVID is, and I feel like
it's a tower.
COVID is the tower of the world because after everything like clears, there's going to be a rebirth to the world.
100%.
Like we're going to appreciate like human touch and contact and like world things so much more. And a lot of like, I'm just being honest, but like, you know, the old and stuff like that is like being taken away from the world. And it's crazy. And I don't like that it's happening, but it really is, you know, just destruction. And I feel like the economy, like there's so many different things that are going to get hit right now. And it's kind of like shaking shit up.
Yeah.
Big time.
So I think in business, the tower is a really interesting cycle. I feel like it comes a lot quicker.
I know.
It happens very frequently in business and more than like in life, at least I feel.
I feel like
especially with like,
I feel like for us, yes. I don't know about every listener.
Well, I just feel like, you know,
we have like, but we're fast paced.
It's normal to like have people come in and out of your life. You know, you start to learn that like people come in and out of your life. Sometimes they're meant to stay. Sometimes they're meant to be there for.
Sometimes they're a lesson. Sometimes they're a blessing. Sometimes they'll come to fuck your shit up. Okay.
So, but the tower, like speaking about losing people on your team. So I had recently, I think you'll remember this. I was literally, this happened like over the summer, late summer. I had just gone on a long vacation and I was like having a tower. I had one of my longtime employees suddenly give notice, like instrumental on my team. And I was like, oh, fuck. I actually cried. Yeah. I actually cried.
I forgot about
and was
this.
like, oh my God. And you know, like cold black heart. I'm not the one. Like I don't. How many times have you seen me cry? Legit.
I don't know.
Like
no,
I like
none.
cried, like real tears. But
yeah, you're not a crier.
If that person hadn't left,
I
there
know.
was new space made.
I know.
And when this tower burns, and when the tower has burned and it's gone,
I know. Then the space happens. So like when the burnings happen, you're like, ah, and I'm crying. Like me, I'm crying. I cried. I got this whole tower the past couple of weeks, but I also lost an employee. And it was just crazy how it all happened. And like during when it was happening, I was like, oh my God, I really love this person.
Or you think about all the things that they did and the way that they did it. And you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to move forward? And you're afraid of the change. But the change is what gets us to the next place. And so the tower is really, it's not about the loss. It's about creating space. And
it's also about the divinity of it all.
Yes.
You know, like I feel like towers feel like the world, and at least in my opinion, like the world is fucking transpiring against me. That's how I felt. Like all of my angels and my guides were like teaming up together to like fuck shit up. So there's two things that I want to say. First of all, when you ask God to be strong and you ask God, so like for me, I was praying for a next level. I knew that I was about to up level, like my finances, my love life. Like I was ready. And me and you were even talking about this. Like we lit a new chapter candle and I'm about to go into this next level. And I'm starting a new company. We have all this crazy shit going on. And it's so funny because if you're asking God or the universe or angels or whatever you believe in, right, for this next level, the shit that can't come to your next level must fall away. And that's the hard part. So that's what a tower is. Often the tower comes prior to the best part of your life or the best part of that chapter.
Or the next chapter, yeah. And when I look back, now that I'm looking back on it, you know, a couple months later, I've gone through the period of hiring someone to replace that person. But in doing so, I learned from that job, changed the job description. And now the person who's in that position, the system is better suited for what I need them for now.
Yeah, the team member that I had let go of wasn't on my team that long at all. It was like only 2.5 months. But I have a long-standing team member that's been on my team a little over 2 years. And I'm actually flying her out here in a couple of weeks. And I really realized that like, truly, like I'll admit this on the podcast, like how valuable and amazing she was, and maybe that I wasn't even paying her enough, and so I paid her extra, and I just like was in complete gratitude for what she does for me and my team. I think that seeing someone come on and leave made me really see what I have. And sometimes we need like shit to be shaken up for us to be like really grateful for like what we have in the things. So I got to really reevaluate some things in my business, and it was so crazy. I just put out like my first passive offer and like all of these different things that I don't think I would have done had this whole thing not happened. And I'm like already in this next level vibe, and it's just crazy.
Well, because the tower is literally taking up so much space in the frame, in the field, and so it has to fall to make room for what comes next. And the people falling out of the building, they're not, you know, they're abandoned. It's about abandonment in a good way. It's about surrender. It's about
that word.
And I love that. This is something that has taken me years to master, but I've been in business. I'm an old bitch.
I've mastered it, but I think this made me like some kind of epicness at it.
Well, you know, you get better and better each time, but I'm an old bitch. I've been around the block a couple of times.
You're an old bitch shop.
I mean, as
you're
far
older
as
than
like
me, but
business goes,
okay,
I've
fine,
been through a lot of towers.
Whatever you say.
And basically, when it comes now, I'm like, you know what? Let it fucking burn.
But you cried.
I did cry. It was good. It was an emotional relief.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think I'm personally ever going to get, like, I think I will. This was the craziest part about my tower in particular. Like, this one, I've had lots of them, is I remember the second where I was like, okay, like I surrendered to it. So I'm glad you brought up the word surrender, because I'm not sure if that was like coming to the top of my head, where I remember exactly where I was sitting, and I was like, fine. I was like, I'm not going to stop coaching women. I love what I do. I'm meant for this. Whatever do you want to take from me, take it. I was like, take it all. I was like bawling my eyes out on the ground, and I was like, fine, if this is your will, this is your will. But like, just know that I'm not going to stop. And like, that was the day, like the next day, where everything just started coming back together. And I was like, all I had to do was say, okay. Yeah. Like I kind of they just wanted me to be okay with what they were doing, I think.
So for me, like the way that it came on was like, all of a sudden I get this text like, hey, I'm leaving, you know, in 2 weeks. And this person had been with me for 5-6 years and was like a huge part of my team. So I'm like, oh my God. And really when I cried to him, and I was like, you know, I don't want you to leave. Like, what am I going to do? And he was like, you're going to be fine. Like, I won't leave you like this. Like, we'll make sure that you're good. Like, I'm going to make sure you're good. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I realized that I was more grieving that I was just not going to have this person in my day to day because like my employees, they're not employees. They are my best friends.
I know,
like,
they become friends. Mine did family. Too. Well, I thought,
you know, that. Well, you know, sometimes it can go either way. The tower can go either way. But the thing is, these things are meant to leave our lives. That's the point. The point is that they're meant to leave our lives.
And a man just left my life too. Like, he has been in my life a while. And it was just like the craziest thing. I don't think I'm ready to tell the story yet. But like, he came somewhere that he was originally.
I think we're going to talk about it all.
I don't feel like talking about him right now. I'm like, ugh. But like, he came.
How are you going to leave him out of the tower?
I don't know. We don't really.
He's a fucking burning ass building.
Damn, she's like, here now. I'm a dirty laundry up in here. No, yeah, someone who had been in my life a while, that I had lots of romantic stuff with. It was time for him to go, but like, it was hard for me to let him go because you were trying to extinguish the flames. Yeah, I was trying not to let him go. So that's what happens, right? So the tower starts and so
burning.
They forced him the fuck out of my life, and it was just the funniest way they did it. Like, they gave me no other choice, and I feel like sometimes with towers is like, they're gonna like shove shit out of your life. And especially if you're someone who's like a leader, you're someone who's in integrity, you're someone who leads other people, like, your life has to match what you're doing, right? So like, this person was not meant to be in my next level, and like, I knew that, but I was like avoiding eliminating him entirely. And so they were like, funny. Bye. And so they showed me something which would be out of integrity for me, to keep him in my life after what happened. So I was like, oh shit, like, I can't be a leader and keep him around now. So now I got to get rid of him. And I did, but it was hard. It was hard. Like, he was someone that like became like a best friend to me. You know,
there is a coyote right outside the window behind you right now.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. I can't wait for the people to see this. Maybe just on that path right there. Guys, we are coming to you.
That's creepy because that's like my son.
I've been seeing them a lot too.
I've never seen them here on the beach.
They're down here.
Oh, what are you talking about? I've never seen one.
I've seen them here before.
What?
They are here. I did a private reading at one of the houses down the street and we saw them. But anyway.
Well, I thought that was God being like, we took him away. Haha, coyote.
So the other thing about the tower with love,
you can't fight it.
You can't fight it. Yeah.
That was the message I was saying is, I think as women, I'm going to speak as women especially, like, sometimes we like to hold on, whether it's in my particular case, sex, because that man put it down. I just can't lie to you. Like, we're going to have an episode on sex. I'm a freak. And I like sex, like particular sex, you know, maybe like some BDSM and some things. And he
was scratching an itch.
Oh, did he scratch a lot of things? Not just an itch, baby. Oh my God, it was so fucking good. And like, he got to know my body, my desires, and like, it was like the freakiest I had ever gotten with a partner. Like, I went like all the damn way. So it was like hard to get rid of it because like, I don't want to do that with other people. Had been a long time, and I don't know, it's weird to like, for me, I get really comfortable like sexually with people.
Honestly, he was fulfilling a really important need for you.
Yeah.
Physically, and you need that. And
I need that.
We all need it. Yeah. I mean, by the way, on our launch party, we asked questions. We said for people to write in questions. The number one question that we received is, when is the sex episode coming? So clearly, y'all are some freaks.
I mean, I get you. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's
But next. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I don't need sex, but it's nice because I feel like powerful and I like it.
I mean, it was time. It was time for that tower to burn. And sometimes those flames burn passionately.
I can't say that I still don't have the urge to fuck him. Like, I wouldn't fuck him, but it was good. It's like one of those, like, yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, R.I.P.
Should we pour one out?
Pour one out for you, motherfucker. R.I.P. Daddy. I'm so fucked up.
I mean, also, like, anyone we're sleeping with, we're using them for sex magic as well.
I know.
So,
and he knew that too. I mean, he like loved being my sex magic.
He was
slave.
A tool. He was also a tool.
Like, I lit candles. I did all kinds of crazy things. Said things. He loved it. Like, when you're like witchy or spiritual or whatever you want to identify with, I'm sure some kind of identification if you're listening to the witch's realm right now. Having a man who's like all about it and is like is amazing. You know, like,
yeah.
Some people find that weird. Like, there's not. Sure. I don't know. I don't think I had really dove into this. Like, my partner before that, I don't think he really cared either. He was all about that shit too.
Yeah,
he was freaked too.
I mean, I think.
Daddy number 2.
We'll save this for the
I know we should stop. Let's just keep talking about towers.
But I mean, the tower does kind of look like a dick.
Yeah.
Also,
now I just need to get laid.
Like, sometimes I get the tower like right in the
middle
of
my mom never listens to this.
And I'm like, dude, my grandma listens to that.
Don't tell grandma.
She does.
She's gonna hear me say daddy.
I just said dick twice.
Oh my God.
She doesn't care. She really doesn't.
Hi, Graham. Love you. Okay, tower. Things about the tower. What else do I want to say? Okay, surrender is important. I think that everything about the tower is divine when it comes to towering. Comes to timing.
Yes, divine timing. The other thing that I was going to mention about the tower is the flames. The little flames.
What about the little flames?
Are the little tiny flames?
Yeah,
that are
what about
shooting out. So anytime you have the little tiny flames, those are ideas and inspiration. So a lot of times while you are experiencing the tower, at the same time you will receive very important and powerful downloads and information from your guides.
Oh yeah.
And so if you can like not pay attention to the tower that's burning and go inward, that's when the real powerful stuff.
That's when you become the fire.
Yeah.
And you can walk through it.
And, you know, we rise from the ashes. We are the phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny. Before I went to Tulum, my friend who comes here, who helps me with the house, was like, I feel like you're going to be a phoenix rising from the ashes. Like, little did she know. Like, yes, I was. But yeah, I do feel like towers usually come when you're about to go to the next level. I feel like every time in my life when even my last breakup prior to this one, I was like broke up with him in August of 2019. And then September, he was like lingering around, but then like eliminated him. October was my first 100K month.
Yeah. But I feel like the faster you just light that bitch on fire and get the fucking tower over with, the faster you can quantum leap into your next level. So like, just like you were saying about it happens right as you're about to level up. It happens in friendships a lot. Like you can be, you know, if you're going through a period of your life where you're feeling like everything is falling down around you, you are experiencing a tower. Blah, blah, blah.
I know.
Let it burn.
They're not always fun. I mean, like sometimes, like and I'll say this, and there's like witches listening. Sometimes as witches, we don't want to let it burn, and we try to be like, oh, I can work my way out of this, or I can manifest my way out of this, or law of assumption my way out of this, or like change this. And I think that sometimes I've been one of those humans to be like, oh, I want to change this, and like this is actually happening for the good of things. Mm-hmm. And so there's a difference between trying to like alter the reality and like letting this shit happen. Like a lot of the people and things that I lost over the past month and a half were not meant to walk beside me in this next level.
I just think what's comforting for me about it is when I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm taking this as a symbol that the life that I know right now is literally going to be a figment of my imagination in a year. If you're seeing a tower, your whole life is about to change.
Yeah, but when does it come to a point where like you're in an always tower? I feel like tower. I like for the past 2 years
because
I've been like
cycle.
Tower.
It's a cycle. You know,
like,
it's the death.
Are we done towering?
It's the death part, just like we talked about birth.
I know.
Life, death, decay. It's the death and the decay, right? Because the death is like I'm always fucking with this microphone.
I know.
Like, you don't even touch yours, and I'm
like
always touching it.
I touch it with my mouth. We're like challenged.
It just like feels like it's like blocking my view of your face, so it kind of like bugs me out. But I feel like it stops happening when you're entering into the birth.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like I just got there. Like the product company's coming, new offers coming,
and then there will be life, and then
then
there will be another
again.
tower.
I know.
You know, but it will be a different type of tower. Something else will be it's about deconstructing in order to reconstruct. Sometimes it can just be a tower of belief systems.
Yeah,
it doesn't even have to be like person. People.
Yeah. No, I feel like that happened when I like stepped into my gifts too, because I questioned everything. You know, I was like, oh my God, I'm a psychic medium. Oh my God, I could read people.
What does that
like,
mean?
Yeah, and it was like all the conservative way I was raised and everything I had ever believed was falling around me, and I was like, am I crazy? What is happening? Right? And so like it was a tower. It was an internal tower. Like nothing actually left my life when I first started awakening, I guess we can call it. But yeah, I was like, I was internally towering. So we can have an internal tower too, not like everything has to just like fuck shit up around it. Like you can literally
it can be
decide to tower
beliefs.
your brain. I tower my brain a lot.
I think what might be helpful is, you know, if we could share maybe like if someone's going through a tower, what's something that they can do?
Okay, what helped me in my tower? I mean, I'm still coming back to the word surrender, because I think that the day I remember in the exact moment where I was like, okay, like clearly this is meant for me, and resistance, like the more you resist, the more you fight, the more you try to shift the tower, the more the tower will burn you. And it hurts to get burned. So if you just let the tower fall and surrender, I think that's what really shifted things for me, and like how my new offerings came out in the new company and like all these things like just started like I started pissing creativity when I surrendered, but also like support. I think during that time I was calling you, I was, you know, getting support from friends and mentors and family. And like, I know that a lot of spiritual women, like we're the boss ass independent bitches. I can like identify with that, where it's like, I feel like I wanted to hermit. And I did hermit a little. Like I'm a personal.
You want to stay in the tower and like be like,
I'm going
to stay up in this tower and I'm going to defend it
shit.
And I'm going to stop it from burning because I kind of like it here. Yeah. And it feels.
Yeah. So you can't be like the dragon in the tower, you know, like defending it. You have to be like,
jump out the fucking window.
Yeah. And I think like, oh my God, I just had a flashback of when I skydived.
Oh my God, you called me.
Oh my God, can't believe I did that. To this day, I cannot believe I skydived. But I was just like, Andrea Franco was being brought here, and how could she say no? Then I wouldn't really be a leader. Blah, blah, blah. That's a whole nother topic. But I remember like looking out of that plane and being like, am I gonna fucking jump? Like they had to kind of shove me, but I was like, yeah. And like I just jumped out of the plane, and it was the worst thing ever. I hated it. I hate heights. It was so scary. I don't know why people jump out of like perfectly good planes. But I did it. I was dating someone at the time who like thought that was romantic. Although like,
let's jump out of a plane.
Let's jump out of a plane for your birthday.
Even though you hate heights.
I mean, I think he just didn't know me at the time, but also it was kind of cute that he looked at me as this like badass bitch, because I am a badass bitch. So it was like, wow, I fucking hate you, but also like you think I'm the bee's knees.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that. And anyways, I was just like the vision. Like I talk and I see visions in my head. So yeah, that was like, it's like you just got to jump. And the whole way down, I was kicking and screaming, which that's how some towers go. Because I feel like sometimes it's like you jump out and everything, like once you jump out is fine. And I feel like in this tower, like every tower is different. This tower, I kicked and screamed the whole way down.
I just try to remember it's a cycle, and I'm going to build a stronger structure in its place, you know, because the tower is also not built on solid ground. In the card, the tower is pictured like built on this tiny little rock, not built on solid ground. So I try to just say like, you know what? It's not here to serve me. Let it fall away. And a lot of times, like I said, can also apply to friendships. You know, we had that episode about the sisterhood wound, and that's probably the episode that we got the most feedback and listens, I think. People were just like, really, it resonated.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when, as women, we go through periods in our life where our friends change. And I can remember a friendship that I had for 10 years, you know, and when it changed, it was really hard.
Yeah.
But it made space, and it just, you know, it was
I think that for me, I guess like business towers aren't like, I don't care. Like people towers are the hardest for me. Cause like I said, like I grow to love people, and I grow to.
People towers are the hardest for me too.
I think people towers are the hardest because I'm like, why?
Yeah, like when a friend is like leaving your life and you don't understand why, and you don't necessarily have the closure.
I've had a couple of those like friendships where like they ended and I still don't know why. Funny enough.
Like,
I don't know why.
One of them today.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, why don't we talk anymore? Like there was no fight. There was no like crazy ending. It was just like a separation. And for me, I always feel like that's because God, somebody up there doesn't let me have friends that like deter me from what I'm doing. Right. And I feel like some of those friendships, they were great people, but it was like in the bar or
distraction
or like bad dick, like devil dick. Not that I haven't had devil dick.
That's his code name.
Yeah. My last partner, we call him Devil Dick. It's so funny. We're like, did you talk to Devil Dick? We're like, we're done with Devil Dick finally.
We are leaving. We are sending that devil back.
I know. What a shame.
There are good dicks out there.
I know.
We're gonna find an angel dick.
I don't want an angel dick. I think you're pushing it now. Can we find like a part devil, part angel? Because I like a little devil in my dick.
Of course. Who doesn't?
I mean, come on. I think me in particularly, like I can't have like a. But like,
he was a devil.
He was no. I'm just saying that like I need like a man, you know, like in the bedroom. Like I like to be like dominated, and I like to like fuck shit up. Like because all in my whole life I like get to like be the boss and call shots, and like
I feel that.
I just in the bedroom I don't want to call shots. I just want to surrender. I love that. Right. For the tower. But yeah, I don't know what else. Any key tips for towering?
Cleansing. I think it's all about energetic cleansing, allowing yourself to let it burn, you know, saying protection. I release whatever is.
That's a huge one
not
for me.
Serving
like
me.
During this tower, I protected myself a lot. Like that was the only thing I was focused on. Like I literally bought a new evil eye. Like I bought like 5 of them. Like just I did a ton of protection spells and just like protection all over myself because I knew everything was burning, and I was like, I just need to keep me and my home and my life protected.
Yeah. Well, I think we really burned it down tonight.
I think we did too. All right.
As usual, please send in your questions. We love reading all of the emails that you guys have sent. The Witches Realm podcast @gmail.com.
Or join the Facebook group Intuitive Boss Babe Community. Add us on social.
Yeah,
we love you. Send us emails. Be our best friends. Join our little witch tribe.
Honestly, I am shocked at how many other witch bitches there are out there
in the world. I know. We're gonna start
a coven,
a movement, a coven movement.
All right, babes.
All right. Mwah. Love you. Bye.